All right, how's it going, everybody? My name is David. I'm a recent graduate of CSU here this past May. I am from the San Luis Valley of the tiny town of La Jara, which is home to the Alliance School Centauri. So I graduated from Centauri in 2016. Um, and after that, for a while, I didn't really know what I was going to do. I feel like I had a really good high school experience. I really felt well supported within my school. One of the largest factors of that is being we had a really small school. My graduating class was 65 students. And I felt like with the school that small, I was able to really build personal relations with so many other students, with our teachers, with our administration. And it was a really tight knit community. So I really felt supported, but I wasn't really sure what my plans were for after high school for the longest time. And so I attended a summer program at CSU called the Lorenzo de Zavala Youth Legislative Session. And just by having that experience of being on campus, I immediately fell in love with CSU, and I knew that that's where I wanted to go to school. There was no question after that. And there's just so many things that like I really liked being on campus that week. Campus was gorgeous. I really felt like CSU wanted to help and wanted to support each and every one of its students. Fort Collins is an amazing town, and I just entirely fell in love with CSU and Fort Collins. And so I fell in love with CSU in that way. There was many other considerations that I needed to take into factor. So I felt really comfortable about like my grades and my ability to get in and succeed at CSU. The next thing up was finances. As you may know, college is expensive. It's not cheap, but you need to really think of it as an investment in yourself, an investment in your future, because it's not like a one-time you pay a fee and you get this experience and it's over, because it really, the experience, the education lasts a lifetime. And so fortunately, I was able to get my first year paid for, which was the first step. And then I knew after that I would try to get other scholarships to finance the rest of my college. I decided to just go for it, and I left. And my uncle lives in Fort Collins. Like I had some like family in the area, but I just knew that like I was going to make this experience mine no matter what, and no matter what like obstacles experience, because although I felt like I knew a lot about CSU, I just didn't know, like relatively speaking to the size of the university, I didn't know anything. And so I really went into this just with good intentions, and with a motivated mindset to do my best. And like at least what I did know going into the university really helped me. And so for one thing was the Key Communities partnership, or the Key Communities program, which I was involved in my freshman year, which is a living learning community, and where students live in the same dorm, the same hall, in like different groups, kind of based on your interests and experience. And so I was in Key Service, the outdoors cluster. And so our cluster was focused on service in the community, as well as the outdoors and nature and just being outside. And that just really like established like my friend group, which was really important because, like I said, coming from such a small town to a big university, it could be easy to get lost. And so that immediately like established like my circle, my connections, and it really helped. Another thing was knowing that I had the support from Alliance, not only the financial support through the Alliance Partnership Award, but just also the support from other Alliance students. I went up there, with 4 other people from my high school, or with 5 other people from my high school. And then on top of that, I had another community of more Alliance students through the Alliance Student Organization, which I later became like a part of as an officer. And so it really, really helped just knowing that I have the support, the Alliance meetings, meeting the other people from different schools. Maybe we have something in common, maybe we don't. I learned something about them, they learned something about me. It was just really good to be able to know, like, we come from different places, and like, I mean, across the different parts of the states, rural to the Denver area, but we have similar experiences and we have similar like motivations, struggles, things that help that like are part of our identities. Um, and we are like facing CSU throughout college. I really felt supported the entire way. It was really good to have such a group of like people who genuinely cared about me and like my success. And that ranged from many people, from everybody within who was involved with Alliance, to my advisor, to my different supervisors and bosses. I feel really lucky to have had a community like that through my entire college experience. Something I did is I worked at the Access Center for 4 years, and that was honestly one of the highlights of my time at CSU, because um, we got to work with so many other programs. Everybody there supported one another, and it was truly like a family. And I'm going to miss it, but it was just amazing to have that like really close-knit support. I had the support of key communities. I had the support of the College of Ag, and there was just so many options for me. So when I came in, I originally was undeclared just because I didn't know exactly enough about the majors to declare. I knew I wanted to go into agriculture, but I didn't know, like I said, the business side. Do I want to go into crops, animal science? So I ended up deciding on agricultural business because I felt like that fit what I was looking for best, because it had business aspects to it, is primarily business, but the elective courses allowed you to explore different topics within animal science or crop science. And so I really feel like I got like a comprehensive degree, because I was really able to like take a lot of animal science classes, crop science classes, and I feel really prepared. I also minored in Spanish, which I think I declared that even before I declared my major, just because I knew I wanted to be bilingual. I wanted to just, make sure I learn this language like my family, the rest of my family speaks it, and I really felt motivated to do that. And so I also had the support from the languages department. So as I went into my second year, I continued my support with key communities, as I was involved with the Key Plus program. So I was still living on campus, which I really felt was beneficial to me, because as all incoming freshman students, unless there's extenuating circumstances, have to live on campus. And so even though I've already lived my on-campus experience, it really helped enforce like my on-campus identity. I was able to build more friends within the residence halls, attend more programs, because I was right there on campus. So it was super easy to walk over to the Laurie Student Center, to walk over to Clark, whatever building it is. It really helped. And it also helped me to stay on top of my academics, because the library was a 3-minute walk away. I could really focus on studying. I was motivated to go to class knowing that I didn't have a half an hour journey to come to campus. It really helped. And so, and then also, again, having that support from key communities where I had a mentor who personally, you know, watched after me, made sure that I had all the resources that I needed so I could be successful. And so through that, in my third year, actually, I decided to become a key mentor. And I was a key mentor for 2 years. And it was just a really good experience, because I was able to make more connections. I was able to learn like more about different resources on campus, because part of our job is providing other students with resources, making sure that they are well taken care of. And so by learning about other resources for other students, I was able to take advantage of those resources. I worked the 2 jobs. So the key mentor was one job, working in the Access Center was another job. And I was actually really worried about, how am I going to work 2 jobs and be a full-time student? I worked anywhere from 20 to 30 hours a week. And on top of all my classes, sometimes even one semester taking 18 credits, which is the maximum for full-time students. And what I could say about that is just, if you put your mind to it, and if you really focus on doing the best at each of the tasks, if you put all into your work, if you put all into your schoolwork, and you put all into just your overall experience in the university, you can do it. It is entirely doable, and it's really fulfilling because, again, you build up so many other connections around campus. You learn, it helps you with it with your academics. It helps with your personal life, building your resume, and how, like, what are you going to do after college? It just is really um, doable. You know, you may be busy, you may not get as much sleep, but it was entirely worth it. I mean, I just have so many amazing memories from CSU. One of my favorite just overall experiences was living in the dorms. Like, there's never going to be another thing like that. Your freshman year, like, you're all new, you're all trying to figure out this thing called college, and you just most of the time make really great friends, and you figure out a lot about yourself. It's a lot about exploring like who you are as an independent individual, because you may be away from your friends, your family, your community, and it really helps you build like who are you independent of others, like who are you as an individual, because, and I'm just speaking from my own personal experience coming from a small community, like your options are sometimes limited. Also, just other amazing experiences were just hanging out with like friends at like football games, at basketball games, and just attending like different like speeches. There's so many programs at CSU, such as like that come to CSU to talk, to give speeches based on like social justice, on who's coming, based on like what like Heritage Month is it, how like TED Talks. There's so many like things like that you could attend that are really great and like fulfilling as a student, that like, again, it's just all about like this continual learning process. Like, yes, you learn in the classroom, but there's so much other learning that takes place outside of the classroom. I would do all over again, and more. Now that I've graduated, I know like all these other programs that like were available. Like, if I would have had known that there was Alliance summer programs in high school, then I would have really like taken advantage of those, because now that I was been a mentor for them. Last year, I had the amazing opportunity to be a mentor for the River Science Alliance summer program, and it was just an amazing experience because um, although I experienced a summer program on campus, there's just something, again, experiencing it with Alliance students, and being an observer of this, as like being a part of the program. Like I said earlier, we come from different backgrounds, different parts of the states, different upbringing, but we're all Alliance students, and getting all these Alliance students together and working in like a general project, a general program, is really like amazing and beneficial, and seeing how each student grows, like their friendships with other students, their friendships with students from their own schools even, and also just like that preparedness for college. Because had I not attended a summer program at CSU, I don't know if I would have gone to CSU, because I wouldn't have known that like that was my place. You know, so many people ask us when we're growing up, what do you want to be when you grow up? What do you want to do? What do you want to major in? Which is, it's a great question, but I've learned that it's almost equally as beneficial to ask, well, what don't you want to do? Because you could rule out so many different things and really focus in like, yeah, I don't want to major in this. I don't want this to be my career. And you could really narrow in what you want to do. Some advice that I would give to you is to really just put everything into what you're doing. And I think that by me doing that, that really helped define my college career and really give me the experience that I was looking for and that I've wanted from CSU.